In this tutorial, you'll integrate the Unity Bandpower Interface to connect and visualize BCI data. First, start a new Unity project. To import the Unity Bandpower Interface, go to Assets, Import Package, Custom Package. Select the latest version of the Unity Bandpower Interface.Unity package and import it. Ensure that all scripts and modules are selected and click Import. The Unity Bandpower Interface should have been added to your Unity project. You can find a g.tec folder in your Assets folder. Open it and select Bandpower. In here, you'll find some predefined scripts and prefabs. Go to the Prefabs folder and drag the device prefab into your scene. The device prefab is designed to interact with your BCI device. It handles different types of amplifiers. In this case, you can add a simulator, a Unicorn BCI Core, or all devices. For the simulator, you can decide if you simulate good EEG, floating EEG, or grounded EEG. You can also modify the simulated alpha values. In advanced settings, you'll find some settings that modify the behavior of the Bandpower interface. You can modify the buffer size in samples or the buffer overlap in samples used for calculating bandpower. You can also modify the frequency bands for delta, theta, alpha, beta low, beta mid, beta high, delta, and gamma. It is also possible to acquire raw data from the BCI. You can modify the update rate the raw data event is triggered with. You'll also find a lot of events in the device Prefab Plus. On devices available is called when devices are discovered. On device state changed is called when device state changed. On pipeline state changed is called when a pipeline state changed. On runtime exception occurred is called when a runtime exception occurred. On bandpower available is called when bandpower values for each channel are available. On mean bandpower available is called when averaged bandpower values over all channels are available. On ratios available is called when bandpower ratios for each channel are available. On mean ratios available is called when averaged bandpower ratios over all channels are available. On signal quality available is called when new signal quality values are available. On battery level available is called when battery level data is available. On data lost is called when data is lost. On EEG data available is called when raw data is available. For this tutorial, I select all devices and I leave all the settings as a preset. I want to add a connection dialog in order to be able to discover and interact with devices. Drag the connection dialog prefab to the scene and drop it onto the device prefab. I want to add a logger to the scene to log all the events to the console. Drag the logger prefab to the scene and drop it onto the device prefab. I want to add a signal quality bar to visualize signal quality of all acquired channels. Drag the SQ bar prefab to the scene and drop it onto the device prefab. I want to add a bandpower plot to visualize bandpower. Drag the bandpower bars prefab to the scene and drop it onto the device prefab. Click the play button. You can see that the discovered devices are already displayed in the drop-down menu. You can see that we have two simulators for a 4 and an 8 channel device, and an actual device first. I'll select the 4-channel device, click the Connect button. You can see that simulated bandpower values are floating in. You can see that the signal quality bar is indicating good EEG for all channels. You can also simulate floating channels. The band power is increasing on all channels and the signal quality indicators are turning red. You can also simulate grounded channels. In this case, the signal quality indicators are turning yellow. You can also simulate different alpha levels. If selecting good EEG, you can follow the same procedure for the 8-channel device. The major difference is that you will see 8-channel quality indicators instead of 4. You can follow the same procedure for the actual device with real EEG. If the logger is attached to the device, you can follow the events being fired in the console. You can see that the events are firing continuously. There are a couple of different events that I'd like to show you. There's the on ratios available event. You get data for different ratios like power ratio index, delta alpha ratio, theta alpha ratio, theta beta ratio, the beta alpha ratio, and an engagement index. You'll get data for each channel individually. If listening to the on mean ratios available event, you'll get the channel average of these ratios as well. There's the on band power available event. You get data for delta, theta, alpha, beta low, beta mid, beta high, gamma band powers. You'll get data for each channel individually. If listening to the on mean band power available event, you'll get the channel average of these ratios as well. If you want to integrate this data into your game logic, you can simply attach to the Unity event system to call your own scripts or game logic. If you're done developing, you can deploy the project to different platforms. Currently, we can support Windows, Mac, and Android device. Simply select your target platform and click Build or Build and Run. This was the tutorial. Thank you for watching.